Welcome to another episode of What to Stream. I am here with Jana. Welcome back, Jana. We're going to be talking about a lot of good stuff today, right?
Again. Yes, a lot of things going on, right?
Thank you for Jungle having Cruise. Me again. Oh, no problem. I enjoy talking to you. And then we watched a lot of the same films, so we can have this back and forth this time. So we're talking like Jungle Book, Suicide Squad, the new season of Trollhunters on Netflix. And I just caught HEIST on Netflix, and Harlequin, I was talking to you a little bit about it before, and we're going to talk also a new sci-fi movie called Settlers. So a lot of good stuff that you can stream this week. So there you go. And so Jenna you're gonna kick it off first with a Jungle Cruise.
Yeah, Jungle Cruise. Oh my God, I was very excited about this movie, and it's Jungle Cruise, like it's the famous ride at Disneyland, Disney World, like in Florida. Everybody loved that. I used every time that I go to the park, I used to go, and I loved it. And so the movie is based on that, and it's an adventure with a lot of like going on, and follows this Captain Frank, played by Donnie Johnson, The Rock, and Dr. Lily, played by Emily Blunt, and her brother McGregor, and they go to the Amazon to find a kind of a place, like a lake or something, called Lágrimas de Cristal, which is part in Brazil. That part is in Brazil, so they go over there. So they go in a really different and chaotic adventure. Beautiful. I like it a lot. There is a lot of people running. They're not running away. They're running away from those villains. But I like it a lot. So they need to find a specific tree that have a little flower, a little leaf that can save the medicine. So they go there. So it's amazing. So I like it a lot. Of course, the movie is not perfect, but I enjoy a lot, especially the chemistry between The Rock and Emily Blunt. I think it's amazing the way that they do, like it's incredible. I don't know, it's so connected, both of them, and I really enjoy. I also think that Jack Whitehall, that plays McGregor, Emily's Blunt character, sister, right? So I think it's amazing too, the way that he did, the way that he portrayed himself as a very rich guy that goes to Amazon with a lot of bags, and it's amazing the way that they did. Some hiccups here and there with the CGI. I don't know if you felt that way.
Yeah, Lupe, the tiger was a little.
Yeah, it was a little too, because I think I think they didn't want to use, like, of course they don't want to use a real animal over there, but I think it was a little off. Some of the CGI.
Oh no, I'm stuck now. Jen, are you there?
I own like, yes, I'm here. Yeah.
Okay. Oh no. Okay.
Oh no.
We have somebody else in the household using the internet, so now it's slower.
Yes, I know that. So so I think there is some little stuff here and there, but overall I think the movies, I felt happy when I watched it. I think it was fun. It was a mix of Pirates of Caribbean and Indiana Jones. I don't know if you felt that way too, because I did. That brought me some good memories of those movies, especially Indiana Jones. I don't know. I liked it. And I think the actors had a great time doing it. So I think it's worth watching. It's gonna be in theaters, and also it's gonna be at Disney Plus, starting this Friday. But you need to pay an extra $30 to watch it.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I like their chemistry. It reminded me of Romancing the Stone with Michael Douglas and Kathleen Turner, and Emily Blunt for sure reminded me of Kathleen Turner. because she's this like determined woman and nobody's going to let her, nobody's going to stop her. And I actually like Dwayne Johnson's role in here because he didn't come off like this tough guy like he usually does. And so he's like a little softer side to him. So I like that part. And yeah, like you mentioned, Jack Whitehall, he's hilarious. And I like the role reversal between Jack Whitehall and Emily Blunt, how they reverse the roles.
Yeah,
like he's more the feminine in terms of, like you mentioned, the bags. He brings most of the bags, and Dwayne Johnson's character Frank thinks they're her bags, and she's like, "This is my bag," and she has like one little bag.
Yeah, a small one, and she's wearing pants all the time, and usually back then, like in the period of time that the movies is set, they didn't wear any, especially girls, right? No pants at all.
Also, that's what Frank calls her, pants, because in that era, women didn't wear pants; they always wore skirts. So he calls her pants throughout the whole movie, and it's hilarious because she's like, "What's wrong with pants?"
Yeah, I like it a lot. I think we had a great time. I watched with Ryan and my husband, and I think it's a great like family movie for everybody. So
it reminded you like old school adventure movies for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, it's exactly that, and it's PG obviously, so you're gonna get some nice wholesome entertainment. I mean, it's not like Romancing the Stone. There's a lot of sexual tension there. Here, there's not that much sexual tension. I mean, you're rooting for them, but there's not as much sexual tension. But yeah, I liked it. Like you mentioned, there was one scene where and I showed the picture earlier, like a tribe, and I thought, oh no, they're going to like Pirates of the Caribbean. But then there's like a twist. So I thought, oh, okay, that's funny.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So also, I like it a lot because the one thing that I like it a lot, I even pointed out my reaction online, is because Emily Blunt says obrigada, which is thank you in Portuguese. They also have some dialogues here and there in Portuguese, which I think it's good, and it was real Portuguese, wasn't like fake ones. Sometimes they pretend. Was good. I think they were careful about that. So I like that.
And I want to mention Veronica Falcon is in the show, in the movie. She's from Queen of the South. She's such a really good actress on that show. And here I really liked her role. I thought they gave her a little more of an expanded role because I thought she was going to come in and come out like a cameo. But she had a really little section of a role, and she did such a great job. I think she really stood out because she's so good at what she does.
Yeah, she's great. I loved it. When she appears, like, oh my God, that's so good. She's great.
Yeah, and she played it so well.
Even Edgar, I think is good too. So, and they have all the other. There is another actor, a Latino actor that I don't remember his name. He plays the other villain together with Edgar Ramirez. Yeah.
Oh, oh my God, he was so good too. Yeah, he's such a chameleon. What is his name?
Yeah.
You can look it up while I talk about Suicide Squad. But yeah, I think he stood out too. He's so good in everything he does. He's such a chameleon. He just changes from role to role to role because he plays a German. I don't know if he's a Nazi because this is early. I think this is like before World War I or World War II. So he plays like a German. I don't know if he's a Nazi at that yet.
I don't remember his name.
Jesse Plemons, right?
Yeah. Yes. Jesse Plemons is there too, but it's not.
Oh, it's not him.
One.
Oh,
there is another one. Oh, you know who else is in this movie? Paul Giamatti. He's in a lot of movies lately. He does his cameos here and there. Like I ever see him as they include him on the movies. He never had like a big part, but he was good too.
Yeah, he was silly. Okay, well, another movie that's hitting theaters and streaming is The Suicide Squad. You can watch it on HBO Max, but I'm pretty sure most people want to watch it on the big screen because obviously it's a big budgeted movie, and who doesn't want to go to the movies right now? Well, I mean, safely. So yeah, Suicide Squad, James Gunn takes over the reins after the first disastrous film in 2016. James Gunn takes over, and apparently they gave him carte blanche. He can do whatever the heck he wants, and he did. He likes to say he's a sick puppy, and yes, he is. There's a lot of stuff here that would probably shock you, but you're not surprised if you're a James Gunn fan. Guardians of the Galaxy was kind of PG-13 comparison to this. So here, he really lets go. And of course, we have Margot Robbie returning as Harlequin, Joel Kinnaman as Rick Flag, and Jai Courtney as Boomerang. But we also have a lot of major stars joining: Idris Elba, John Cena, and Peter Capaldi from Doctor Who playing the Thinker. And you have a bunch of other actors I won't mention because, well, I won't say why. Jana knows why. So this one, oh, and Viola Davis returns, duh. Here we have Viola Davis. So she returns, she picks a whole new crew to go on a new mission. And that's what I liked about the movie. They don't really acknowledge the first mission. It's kind of like continuing the story, but not really acknowledging the pre-existing movie. So the latest mission is she picks a bunch of villains, super villains, to join the crew with Rick Flag leading them. The latest mission is to go to the Corto Maltese Island. This is a totally made-up island. It's under new management because it was overthrown by the military. They used to be an ally of the United States, but now that the military is in charge, they are worried that there's a secret weapon apparently on the island, and it'll be used against the U.S. and around the world. So they send in the villains straight out of Belle Reve. We all know the prison. And there goes the mission. There's some, like the poster says, don't get too attached. And they mean it. So they really do mean it. But if you watch the trailer, I pretty much guessed. If you watch the trailer, who's going to stick around and who's not, because they show the same people over and over again. So the heart of the movie basically is Bloodsport, played by Idris Elba, and Danielle I don't know how to pronounce her. Melchior, I want to say. She's Portuguese.
Daniela Melchior.
Okay, I knew you would say it. You would know it.
Yeah,
so
she's
it's
Portuguese.
She's Portuguese. And she plays Ratcatcher, and they have a really endearing relationship. I thought that was kind of the strong point of the movie. I mean, for me, most people want, the gore and the violence. You get all that too. But you also get this relationship that's kind of endearing, kind of like father-daughter relationship. And of course, Harlequin provides all the laughs. Rick Flag actually is a lot more fun in this one. He's kind of a drill. Yeah, he's a drill sergeant in the first one. But here he gets to have a lot of fun. He's funny. He's got a lot of cool one-liners. And so I thought that his role here was just like, oh my God, 200% improvement over the last role. Because he was such like a buzzkill in the last one. He's like, let's stay on mission. It was like just kind of drill sergeant kind of character. And then the other characters who really grow on you, for me, was Polka Dot Man, King Shark. Yeah. He was so freaking funny with Sylvester Stallone's voice in it. Oh, narrating, doing the voice. It was freaking hilarious. And of course, Ratcatcher was one of my favorite. I thought she was really endearing. But I was like, she's too nice to be a villain. But I interviewed her. She explains what James Gunn told her, where she's at in her life, where she's kind of this, she's still a little bit innocent. And she did, she's in the prison because she did rob a bank with her rats. But she's not to the point where the comic book pickup where she's like a really bad supervillain. So I really liked her. I thought she was kind of really sweet, kind of a role with the rats. And the rat was pretty good.
Oh my God, that scene with all the rats in the end. Oh my God, I was like, I don't know if I spoiled or not, but I was like.
No, but I was surprised that the rats looked so good. I mean, we were talking about Jungle Book, and the tiger didn't look, so good. And then you have rats. Obviously, she had a real live rat on her shoulder. But when the swarm comes in of rats, that's all CGI, but it looked pretty good because I'm all like, oh, that looks pretty good, It's so good. It's so hard to see why. All the what?
Yeah, there is a lot of like CGI in this one too, and like even the little stars, the stars that flow and then goes to there is a little bit of CGI over there, but I didn't notice too much. You know what I mean? It was so real, so well done that I like it a lot. Also the shark hand, I love that. He's so
Bird.
good. Bird.
Yeah, because
But
that's how you could be
he
annoying, just because in the previous movie you had all these characters, but they were just so annoying because they were just like blah, like no personality to them. But here, like everybody, Polka Dot Man is hilarious as well because he's like the sensitive villain. He's like, oh, I don't really
yeah.
want to do this. So you had like a diverse set of characters who were like a little more, and then you have Peacemaker, played by John Cena. I was underwhelmed by that. I mean, he's funny, but he's going to have his own
Yeah,
series,
but
his own spin-off series, which I'm like, really, that guy? I mean,
yeah.
Peacemaker was okay. I mean,
I
him
don't
and Idris
know.
Elba, they have like this, they go head to head as like who's the best one. But I
Yeah.
don't know. I think he was underwhelming as much as Peter Cabaldi. He played the thinker. I didn't think they utilized him
Uh-huh.
well enough because he would like just come in, throw in some one-liners, and
And
I
that's
thought
it.
most of his jokes fell flat. Because
Yeah.
the main
Wasn't
villain is
wasn't that great.
the main villain's a star, right?
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And I think that the for example, that in the beginning when they start the movie, I thought that I was like, oh my god, too many characters. I don't know what's gonna happen, but it was like too many people. I was like, how they gonna divide this? You know what I mean? Because it's the squad. Everybody needs to have a little bit of attention. Of course, I'm not gonna tell what happened, but I think it was like kind of was too much. And then I agree with you regarding John Cena's character, the way that he portrayed. I was like, I'm tired of him. I don't know. I don't know if it's the character, the way that he portrayed that,
I think he was
but
just
I
too
didn't like.
macho. He just played macho. You're like, okay, there was no like
Yeah,
depth. There
yeah,
was no depth, right? Whereas like
yes,
Idris, we can hear
exactly.
Idris doesn't play macho because he's scared of the rat. So it was funny because he's this big
Yeah,
tough guy, but he's
I was
scared of the
like,
rat. You're like, that's cute.
yeah, he's
So he
a
had
that fake
layers to
macho.
them. Yeah.
He's
But
a
he
little
even
fake
said that,
macho.
I'm older now. I don't I don't he's like I'm a little more sensitive to things now. So
Yeah.
I like that about
But
it.
I think for me but for me the movie who shines in the movie is Margot Robbie as
Oh
Harley
yeah.
Quinn, and Idris Alba. It's Elba,
Oh
no
yeah.
Elba.
Yeah.
He's amazing. So I think it's both of them are really great on the movie.
Yeah, and
And what
Harlequin,
about the
Harlequin,
villain?
Harlequin. Well, let me tell Harlequin, get ready for a new kind of Harlequin. She's like single and ready to mingle, and so she's
Yeah.
hilarious. And now there's one little scene, and I wish it had lasted longer, but it didn't. I don't want to say why, but it was like, oh, I would have loved to
Yeah.
see that. But it was so funny the way she handled it. So I just thought like, oh, and then she says gracias with the Castilian, like gracias.
Yeah.
I thought that was hilarious because obviously it's the island, Corto Maltese, is actually like they speak Spanish. So I guess
Yeah.
they're Latino. I guess probably somewhere in Latin America. They weren't really specific, so the Latinos don't fare well in this. There's a lot of
Oh no.
Latinos, but like Alicia
They just don't.
Braga comes in, says hi, and then she's gone, and then she comes in at the end, and you're
It's
like,
out. Yeah. Yeah.
okay, that was
I was like,
weird.
and
Like,
she's good, you know what I mean? She's like a well-known actress right now. I think they should give to her a little bit more.
mhm.
I don't know, maybe they did and they have to cut it because maybe it was too long the movie. But I don't know. I think it was she appears and then she helps one of the characters, and then suddenly
Disappears,
where did she go? And then she appears in
shows up
the
again.
end when I'm almost everything was like solved, and then she appears. I'm like, oh, okay, she's back. But I don't
Hmm.
know.
Yeah, and then there's this
I don't
another
know what.
scene where they kill her crew, and
Yeah,
you're like, turns out, well, I don't want to say. I mean, I guess I don't want to give it away, but it was just kind of like, okay, they just kill like a whole bunch of brown people. I was like, and
yeah,
some of them were just standing there, so it wasn't like they were fighting or trying to kill them. So it was kind of strange. I'm like, what was his point there? I don't understand. But they did
yeah,
tell him. Viola Davis's character, I forget her name, character name, but she tells them that they're hostiles. So they just go in there blindly,
yeah,
following orders. So I don't know if he's trying to say like people just follow orders and don't really whatever. But yeah, and then the villains are pretty weak as well. Like you were mentioning earlier, let's talk about the villains. The villains, they're really no villains. It's really about this group of people. getting along, and you have this dude's secret weapon is this starfish, this gigantic starfish. I'm not giving anything away; it's in the trailer. And they throw a Star-Lord joke in there that was like, that one landed with the thud.
I was like,
That was not funny at all.
No.
But the Latino, because it's a Latino, I guess the island are run by, I don't know what they are, Latinos who speak Spanish. They're just like on the wayside. It's like they come in, hey, I'm the villain, and then they just kind of leave again. It's like,
and then they go out, and then I don't know, was a little misplaced. I don't know. They were like super weak.
Yeah, but the core of the the core people, which is Suicide Squad, the crew, I mean, they're pretty strong, and you'll enjoy it. So you kind of be like, yeah, okay, that happened. Let's move on. So you get all the violence, you get all the action, you get, the funny moments. So, it's there. So some people are calling it the best DC movie ever. I don't know about that.
Every movie that comes out is the best DC movies, the best Marvel movies, the best whatever. I don't think so, but
no, The Dark Knight is still my favorite DC movie of all time. That's I don't know what movie will ever top that. That's like that's the pinnacle of
I really like that one, and I like the first Wonder Woman, the first one, not the second.
That one was pretty good. But I think people for the Suicide Squad, they want raw, and that's what you get here. You get raw,
way different from the other one. Gritty. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. We should be comparing, but the first one, I don't know. I didn't like that much, and this one is, I think, it's better than.
I think that's what this was. It was intended to be this, not that other one, which was kind of just like a big. I don't know. It was a mess. But I mean, that's right. And some of the characters. I mean, the only one I liked in the first one was El Diablo, played by Jay Hernandez. I think he's the only one that really had depth.
Yeah.
If you remember the character.
I agree.
Yeah. But everybody else is like, who gives a crap? And then, actually, I wanted to mention, I thought Boomerang was shortchanged in the first one, and they shortchanged him here too. Because
right.
He's got a boomerang. Like, can you imagine the damage he can do with the boomerang?
Oh my God!
It's a missed opportunity.
And then they change it.
Yeah, so I was kind of like, man, he got shortchanged again. That sucks, because I thought Boomerang was such a unique weapon that we haven't seen in a movie. So I thought for sure James Gunn was going to have a lot of fun. No, I thought James Gunn would have a little more fun with that one, but I was like, oh, that was a letdown too. So, but it's, if for comic book fans, I think this is exactly what they wanted. Mainstream film, mainstream people like us I don't do comic books. I don't read comic books.
No, me neither. But I think they're gonna like it. Let's see. I don't know. This afternoon, I was checking the Rotten Tomato. It was at a certain time. It was 100%. I don't know. Let's see
let's see what the regular folks
stays
say.
until the premiere, until when it opens. Let's see. I don't know.
We'll see. All right. Well, let's move on to the next one. So, what are you talking about next?
The next one I'm gonna talk about is Settlers, which is already in the theaters and also on video demand. So it's a story of a family that they lives in a future that they lives in Mars, right? In a Martian frontier. So they try to survive in that environment. Is the father, the mom, and the little kid. And the movie talks about how surviving, like how the people from Earth invade Mars and they try to live over there. But it's just like a pretty much similar what happened in any other country, especially here. The people from someplace else comes and lives here. They try to adjust, and I think the cast is good. The mom is played by Sofia Bautella. The little girl is played by Brooklyn Prince, and there is this guy from that he comes to take over this place that they are living, this house that they are living, and he tries to take over because he says it's from his family, His parents used to live there and everything, but then he goes out in the world, and is plays by Ismael. I forgot his last name. Oh my god. And it's really good. So they try to survive, and the dad ended up dying because he was defending him. Ismael Cruz Cordova, and the dad ended up dying, trying to uh, protect the mom and the kid for this guy to take over. So he invades, and they try to survive over there. It's, I don't know. I like it. And the story was inspired by, was written by and directed by White Rockefeller from the Rockefeller family.
Oh, I didn't
And
know that.
yeah, he's on that family, and he got an inspiration about, like, with this. He wanted to mix like the immigration issues with like how people used to live in Mars, but the look and feel of the whole movie, you don't see too much. It's not the orange look, like the brownish, I don't know, like from the other movies like The Martian and everything. It's a little bit of a mix of that, with there is like a sun, looks like Earth, and I like it a lot. Like the performances are really good, especially Brooklyn Prince.
Yeah,
She's
she did
amazing
really
on
well.
that. I don't know if
Yeah.
you watch it, right?
Yeah, no, I liked it a lot. At first, I was like, "Well, nothing's really happening," but then it's just like the thrill. It's like a home invasion, but on Mars, essentially,
Yeah,
because, like you mentioned, they're refugees from Earth. There was some kind of. The only thing that was frustrating is that they set up these little things. They don't tell you like the whole story. Even when you
yeah,
first start watching the movie, they don't tell you where you're at. Like they don't give you any information, so you just learn, as you go. And then when Ismael shows up, he starts to tell you a little more of the information, like these guys are refugees, they came from Earth, there was some kind of war on Earth that devastated Earth, and it's like just little stuff, and you're thinking also like, okay, they're on Mars, how are they breathing? And then you get the answer later. So it's kind of like,
later on.
that's what keeps you watching, because there's really not that much action, right? There's like
Yeah,
big
no.
things there's like big things that happen, but you're like kind of getting information little by little. That's what kept me watching it, because it's
Yeah,
like,
you
well, I
need to
want to
pay
know
attention,
more.
because if not, you miss it. And even
Hmm.
the synopsis and everything, all the information, they don't. It's not a lot, So
Yeah.
that's why I was surprised, especially because I was like, oh my god, how, I want to keep watching to see what's gonna happen next. I was like, oh my god, oh my
Yeah, it's
god.
kind of like there's like elements of Mad Max and like the Wild West, because that's what happened.
Yeah,
Settlers. That's what happened in the Wild West. Is people came to take over, but then other people would come and take your home. So this is
yeah,
like what would happen on Mars. So you can see that happening. I mean, we've had discussions about what would happen if we colonize
yeah,
another planet. It's the same
yeah,
issues, but probably because humans are the same. He's essentially saying change the setting, but the humans will always destroy it
yeah.
or kill
Yeah,
it in
the,
some
the
way.
the director he did it in purpose, like he wants to mix a little bit of the sci-fi with the western.
Hmm.
He mixed both of them, like, because he liked it, and he thought that it was a good fit for what he wants, the story that he wants to involve, created. So I think it's a really good, if you like sci-fi, if you like western, if you like good performances, this is a movie to to watch.
Yeah,
It's
it's a particular taste. So if you're like looking for action, 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 this is not it. But if you like the sci-fi, well, I mean, most people who watch these movies, they even know what they're getting. This is like, what was that movie with, I think Moon? It was called Moon. How somebody, living alone, how it
uh-huh.
affects them mentally, so stuff like that. So if you like that kind of movie, you'll like this one, because
Yeah,
it kind of goes into the study of humans, like how they react to certain things, and the nature of humans and stuff like that. So it's kind of very ethereal, like that.
yeah. No, I think I liked it. So I
Yeah,
think that is
I
a
liked it
good
too.
for this weekend. If you didn't watch it yet, you can go and look up on video on demand. It's
Yeah, it's also
available.
playing in the movie theater too. So if you want to see it
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
movie theater,
It's in theaters and video on demand.
and
It's
it has good cinematography. I mean, I would have liked to have seen it. I think watched it on my computer because I couldn't get it to play on my my TV, but it looked beautiful just in that small space. So I was like, oh, I wonder what
Yeah,
it would look like in
I'm
there.
watching my TV and looks beautiful. Imagine in a big screen will make a difference.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm talking now. Something on Netflix. It's called Heist. Have you watched Heist?
No,
No.
no,
Okay.
I did
I
not.
just, I,
So
I think
tell me everything about it.
I think I accidentally, in their recommendations. So it's a documentary series. It's 3 stories. It deals with like real life heists and modern day heists. And these are average people who manage to get away with lots and lots of money. There's 3 stories. One is called Sex Magicking Money Murder. The other one is The Money Plane. And the third one is The Bourbon King. They're a 2-part episode. The first one, for example, this woman in Las Vegas, she becomes involved with this career criminal named Roberto Solis. After he's released from prison, he's in Vegas. He meets this woman, Heather Tallchief, and she's looking to have a good time. So she meets him. He tells her she should work at a armor truck company. So she does, and they start planning their heist. And they got away with $3.1 million from an armored truck. She was the driver of this truck. And so basically she drove the other security guards to different locations, and they picked the location with the most downtime when they're in the casino, I think for like half an hour. So that's when she takes off. And I mean, it's like a movie. You think they get away scot-free, and they kind of do, but Heather is the one that has to suffer. I mean, it takes all kinds of twists and turns. It's really good. The other one is The Money Plane. This regular guy, he's Cuban, and he's a Cuban refugee named Carl Manzon. It all started because his wife, they couldn't have any children. So he wanted to make money somehow. And this other man told him, hey, at the Miami International Airport, there's just money laying around, $7.4 million, just laying around, like no security. So they start hatching a plan to rob them. And he does it by watching TV shows.
Oh my God.
Which is hilarious. And he brings in a crew, but they're all from his wife's family. So like the uncle, the cousin, I mean, it's crazy. And they plan it, and they get away with $7.4 million because it's just laying around at the airport in a warehouse where guys are just kind of like moving it from here to there, but there's really no security. So I mean, these guys have no experience whatsoever. And the Money Plane is really good because they have, like in the movie, they have a loose cannon. And so they're trying to get him in line because he's out there spending the money. They were saying like, lay low, don't buy anything big, like in the TV shows, like we see in the TV shows. But this guy was out there spending money, going to strip clubs and saying, hey, look how much money I got. And there's a kidnapping, and it gets so sordid. I mean, you get hooked watching it. And then there's the third one, I wasn't too interested in it. It was called the Bourbon King. And it's an inside job. These workers work at a distillery. And, they start by selling little bourbon bottles here and there. And they get to a point where they're selling Pappy Van Winkle bottles for like $4,000.
Wow.
So there's a big, they steal like barrels of it, and they get caught. So each of these stories, it's told from the person's perspective, like the person who planned it. So it's interesting in that aspect. And then you also get the law enforcement. They start talking about how they tracked them, how they got them. They figured out who all these people were. So you see how the process of how they went about finding all these people and the money. So it's a really, really good episode. You should check it out. It plays like movies, seriously. But the funny part is that, in movies, you have all these like little twists and turns, and that all happens here too. But this is real life. So, so go check it out. And if you have time, Jana, check it out because it's a really good docuseries. So, and it's 2-part. Each one is 2-part series. Yeah, it's really, check out The Money Plane. That one's the best one.
Now I'm curious to see what
Yeah,
they're gonna tell.
yeah,
It's
the money thing.
amazing.
Yeah, and like I said, this guy recruits all his in-laws, and they all end up going to
Imagine.
jail. It's like, oh my god.
Oh no,
So
everybody. No, it's
you're like, it's
funny.
that easy? You're thinking to yourself, why is it that easy?
It's a
And you're like, no.
and it's a series, right? How many episodes?
It's six, so each story is 2 episodes.
Okay.
So you can
Okay.
always come back and watch it. But I think I did the 4 episodes in one sitting because I was like, oh my god, this is just so good. I just put it on for background because sometimes I'll just put background stuff when I'm
Yeah,
working,
just to
just so because I always constantly need noise sometimes. Um, yeah, and so I watched the 4 episodes like one night. I was like, oh my god, this is really, really. And even Ian, my husband, he came home and he's like, what are you watching? And then he got into it. And I had to go
oh,
do
that's
some. I had to
awesome.
go do something. He was like, and he stayed watching it. So I was like, oh, that good, huh?
Yeah. No, there's some stuff that are really good. Like
Hmm.
and I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah,
Definitely.
check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking about like Netflix, the one thing that I'm gonna talk about is it's a movie, you know. Yeah, I don't know if you have heard about the Trollhunters, and the series called Trollhunters Tales of Arcadia, and they have like 3 seasons, and now they just released a movie in July 21st called Trollhunters Rise of the Titans, and it's kind of a closure, well, just like a, I don't say a finale because I think they're gonna have more seasons, but it's gonna give a conclusion of the 3 seasons that was up and Netflix. So the movie, it's amazing. It's amazing. The series was already amazing. To be honest, I didn't watch the series. Who watched it was my son. So I knew about the movie because of him, and then we're lucky enough to get invited to a special screening. So I ended up watching the movie in a big screen. So if you're amazed with the images in a big screen, imagine watch in a small screen, imagine watch in a big screen. So that follows these kids. The what this is Jim, the one that is carrying the sword, and then they are troll hunters. So they have like tasks they need to find these monsters, these trolls that they are trying to to disorganize the well-being of the everybody. So, and it's really cool. I think it's amazing, the colors, the characters, and the voice cast. It's so the CGI, the animation, it's amazing. So you should watch it, and it's just for everybody to watch it. I think it's really good. And who does the voice who did the voice for Jim, the main character on season 1, was Anto Yeshin, but unfortunately he passed away. Now is Emily Hirsch that does. And the series and the movie was created for Netflix by Guillermo del Toro and DreamWorks. So you should check it out, Lupe.
No, I mean, when I was editing the photos for this, I was like, oh my god, that looks amazing. I want to watch. So you said it's a movie? It's not a series?
Yeah, they have the series Troll Hunters Tales of Arcadia, which
Hmm.
had 3 seasons, and then they did the movie to kind of do a conclusion of the series.
Oh, okay, got it.
So the
Okay.
movie is called Troll Hunters Rise of the Titans. So you should watch the series and then watch the movie.
Okay, so you have to watch the series in order to watch the movie.
In my case, that there is a little recap in the beginning of the movie, so you
Hmm.
understand a little bit. So you don't need to watch the whole season, the whole series to understand. But if you
Hmm.
like it, if you like the animation, if you think it's beautiful, it's so good, so you should watch it.
No, I will. I mean, just based on those images, I was really shocked, like how good that looked.
Yeah, it's good. I don't know, everything that Guillermo does, it's amazing. I don't know. I think
Well, he
it's
puts, he's a true fan.
Yeah.
Of movies and TV. So that's why I always enjoy like when we interview him because he's so very knowledgeable. Kind of like Quentin Tarantino, like they're fans
Yeah.
of stuff.
No, he's a fan. And then on the screening, he did he afterwards we had a Q&A, very quick Q&A with him and some of the voice actors and one of the directors, because they have like 3 directors. So, and then we are like lucky enough, like we receive a book signed by them, but they have all the characters, everything explained, everything talking about like why Arcadia, why these characters like this, why these characters like that. It's amazing, amazing. You should check it out. It's not just for little kids; it's for us too.
No, definitely. I'm gonna check it out just because it looks beautiful. So
Yeah. Oh my
pleasing to
God.
the eye. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna watch it
Yeah.
sometime.
No, you should do it. You should do it.
All right. Well, next I'm talking another animated show. This time Harlequin on HBO Max. I would really, if you like Birds of Prey, you're gonna like this one even more, Jenna.
Okay. I need to
Actually, I
check it
thought
out as well too.
it was better than Birds of Prey. I mean,
Okay.
I like Birds of Prey, but I didn't like the whole Margot Robbie pining for the Joker because I thought that's sad. Like she should just be doing her own thing because it was all about pining
Yeah.
for Joker and like I'm gonna do my own thing, but it was still kind of like hinged on what he did to her. You know what I mean? So it was kind of like it wasn't
Okay.
independent.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but this one, Harlequin, perfect on HBO Max. So animated, like I mentioned. The animation is raw. It's not as beautiful as Trollhunters, but it kind of fits it because it's a comic book story. So basically here, she also breaks up with Joker because he leaves her behind with Batman because he's like, well, better you than me kind of deal. So she was like, forget that. I'm going to make my way in Gotham City on my own without this guy because he is just selfish and doesn't look out for me. And Harlequin here is voiced by Kaylee Cuoco, best known from
interesting.
and Poison Ivy. So it's about this friendship. Like Poison Ivy is like the sane one telling her, "Look, girl, like this is what you need to do. Forget about that guy. Do your own thing." And then she gets the bright idea that she's going to create her own crew because she's going to join the DC, the League of Doom. I think it's called the League of Doom. With her own crew. So she starts assembling a crew. And here, I showed you earlier, this is her crew. So you have King Shark in this one. Totally different than the movie. So it's hilarious to having watched the movie and then having watched the show. And that's King Shark is voiced by Ron Funches, I think is how you pronounce it. Like I mentioned, Poison Ivy is voiced by Lake Bell. Great cast here. Clayface where's Clayface? Oh, I guess I don't have him here. But he's voiced by Alan Tudyk. He was in the Rogue One. Tony Hale is Psycho, Dr. Psycho. He's the one here vomiting. Jason Alexander plays Cy Borgman. Diedrich Bader is Batman. Christopher Maloney is Commissioner Gordon. Oh my God, Commissioner Gordon, hilarious in this movie.
Really? Oh my God, I need to check it out.
Yeah,
No,
he thinks
it's amazing cast.
Yeah, no, he thinks he's like Batman's best friend, and then when Batman doesn't show up for him, I mean, it's hilarious. I love this show and the way the relationship between Poison Ivy and Harlequin, because they were just like, girl, let me just tell you, this is what you need to do. Forget about him. You need to be your own woman. And she's like, yeah, you're right. I'm going to be doing this, this, and this. And it just plays off of the both of them. But it's just a great, great show. I really love it. I'm hooked because it was so good. Before I thought, I don't care to watch it, but it's just really like girl power, So I think that's why Birds of Prey went the wrong way. And this one is a little more focused. She's like a little more focused, like her, and just the writing is right on. The dialogue is right on. Just freaking hilarious. Wanda Sykes is in it. She plays a superhero villain. And it's just so funny to hear her voice in the supervillain, animated character. And it's just so much fun. I mean, you're just going to have a lot of fun. Like I said, Batman shows up. Robin shows up. Pretty much everybody shows up. And it's just freaking hilarious. I love this show. They just did it so well. I mean, I'm not into DC animated shows or movies, but this one is just really well done, especially for Harlequin. And she's a villain, but she's just so endearing in this one because you can really feel like I'm going to be part of this. I'm going to do it for myself, because I'm good. I'm
You
a
go,
good
girl.
Yeah, exactly. So you're rooting for her, and you're like, oh, okay. She's doing her villainy thing, but you just feel for her. You're like on her side because you want to show. She wants to show that she can be on her own. But there's like it's almost like reality because when the Joker does show up at the League of Doom, or I don't think that's what it's called, but let me just say League of Doom for this case. She's kind of like looking at him, thinking like, I wonder if he's like kind of like proud of me, that I'm doing this on my own, that I can do it on my own, that I don't need you guy. I don't need that guy, So it's sort of like realistic. Because as girls, you kind of do that too. You kind of like, I'll show you. I'm going to be the best that I can and be better than you, So that's kind of a little bit of like reality in there, like how women kind of see relationships. And especially because you have the girlfriend like, between
That's
Poison
good.
Ivy.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
if you can watch it, but I just love that show. I'm keep going because it's just too freaking funny. It's just really well done. I really love it. So.
And they have just one season available?
Yeah, just one season. I think from 2019.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. But Jim Rash, who's that? Why does that name sound familiar? But yeah, he's like Robin. JB Smoot is also in it. He plays Frank the Plant. Oh yeah, Frank the Plant's hilarious. One of Harley. Oh my God, what's her name? Poison Ivy's plants.
Poison Ivy.
Yeah, Poison Ivy's. That's her plant, JB Smoot. So he's hilarious. So check it out, and that's my recommendation for that.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's all recommendations, right? I think you're done, no?
Yeah, I think we're done, but that's plenty.
There's plenty, and we have more. We can be like, but no.
We can talk forever, but no. This is,
no.
I thought it was drying up for really good stuff for streaming, but it's not. So that's good, because people have choice of a lot of Jungle Book and Suicide Squad. You can watch at home if you're not comfortable going to the movie theater yet, which is totally understandable right now, especially with the surge in COVID.
Yeah.
So a lot of good options to stay home.
There's a lot of good and a lot of options coming on the following weeks. We have a lot of going on too. So I think we are good. I think we're still going to watch stuff at home. I don't know.
Yeah, it's nice and hot out there. So sometimes you just want to stay home.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. So that's good. That's awesome.
All right. Well, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, clicking below, and follow me and Jana on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube. And you can go to my website, cinemovie.tv. This week we have a Ratcatcher interview with Ratcatcher. So go check that out. And she's talking about how Idris and Viola Davis on set would not get near her when she had the rat.
Melchior.
Daniela Melchior. So,
Daniela Melchior.
Did I say that? Daniela Melchior?
Yeah. Melchior, yes.
And then your website?
I have the director for White Rockefeller, the director for Settlers. I have it's in my channel available. And there are other stuff there too. But from the movies that we talk about, this is the one that you can check it out in my channel. That's awesome.
All right. Well, until next time, if you have any recommendations or something that's coming up that you want us to review, put it in the comments, and we will ask for a screener and let you know if it's worth renting.
Of course.
Thank
you so much for having me, Lupe. And
sure, no problem. And maybe we'll see you next week.
Yeah, maybe.
All right.
I see you. See you next time.
Right. Well, have a good weekend.
You too. Bye-bye.
Okay,
bye, everyone.